Alright, what's up yins guys? I'm going to do another video here, and this video I'm going to remind you, when I talk about gang stalking, I don't know what other videos you watch out there, and I am not indicating, or I don't even think any of them are intentionally indicating or implying when they make videos that they think the whole world is out to get them or anything. I'm not here to say that either, and I'm going to say one thing, especially in situations like mine and maybe like yours. You have, you know, a balance of friends, whether it was in this workplace or whatever, and even though you do, there's still these shit starters. You get gang stalked. There's the other half. You can have these friends and, you know, place and be secure, but the hierarchy will decide one way or another. And I agree that the intention is to isolate you, that then when you outsmart people and you get friends, if they can't isolate you, especially in anybody that manages anything, a workplace, they'll go to management, they'll go higher up. You try to go over somebody's head to speak your piece or whatever, or to prevent yourself from either getting fired, arrested, any kind of thing, you know, and shit can still happen. And it does, and you have ways of subtly getting even later. But anyway, I'm going to talk about this workplace. I'm going to try to put you in some video clips between this video to give you an indication of my case here too. But I think you would want to, in parentheses, go look up a couple videos about I get materialism. There's one particular video I seen about, you know, materialists, or there was this guy in England where he has a problem. I call it gang stalking. He said, quote, man, all these other people with their cars and everything, they're taking the piss about me riding the bike to work. And I love that that expression didn't catch on in America, taking the piss. We call it pissing and moaning, or having a shit fit or whatever. But yeah, taking the piss about it. Yeah, somebody's taking the piss. But yeah, there's people in other parts of the world that have this problem. This is relating to part of my problem, how I get gang stalked. I am a person who never gave a fuck about driving a car, and I just even to piss my parents off and piss other people. I had a real good paying job for 10 years that lasted 10 years, and I got cocky, and I should have saved money, pissed it away. To make a long story short, you know, they eventually sold the building. The luck I had, they eventually, all of a sudden, the company started downsizing and get rid of people and shit, and people were jealous of me in that company. You know, when you get a better paying job, there's always people trying to bump you off, get you bumped off, whether it's to get their relative on, they're jealous. And I rode a bike or walked to work. People were taking the piss about that. I was getting harassed and all that stuff too. But yeah, they eventually sold my building and shit like that. And I had to go move somewhere else, and the company ended up going to hell. But anyway, fast forwarding a little bit here, I'm going to talk about this company I worked for recently that's got more vicious about the same way. I was trying to tell you about myself, how from when the time I even left my parents' house years ago and old enough to leave and have a paying job. I mean, it was told, he literally ordered to me that I was going to get, you're going to get a car, whether it's the religious fanatic rules of etiquette and how you conduct or how you live your life, or it's the secular humanist type of etiquette rules. It involved you must have a car, or you will have these clothes. There's these clothes, whether the fanatic religious side, how you dress, and it's not always dressing to look. If some of you guys watching this too, you know, you might have something you dress up and look sharp, whether it's a suit or dress shirt. But if any of you even work in more dress jobs and you claim gang stalking, right? There's always these persons, maybe you dress a little sharper, dress, you know, presentable if it's required in your job. You know, I even got friends, both black and white. You know, we dress the way we are in the streets, but maybe wear a suit once in a while, or wear something. But that's not the point. There's the religious side and the secular side have this thing, and you'll get gang stalked for. You get, I know, like the one guy that commented on my videos. You get he quoted bootlickers, and good example. You know who the bootlickers are because whether you have to dress up to go for a job or there's the bootlicker attire, okay. But yeah, I was going to have this video about more details about the job I recently got fired from, and maybe I'd make a whole new video, I don't know. But you know, my activities I put on YouTube. I still have videos from that place I got fired on that I was doing the activities. Anyway, one boss, female boss, that was okay with it when it was just yoga, but when I went from doing stretches with my feet in the air like this against an I-beam, you know, just to get reactions from some of the women that were half of the place was women. Some of them were okay with it, they were your friends, and half of them were the bootlickers, the donut chomping busybodies. But you're not, you know, making fun of anybody that's heavier set, because some of them are your friends. You got to watch that shit when you can be gang stuck, and they'll use that against you. But some of them of larger stature were okay with what I do, and they thought it was amusing. And I was, you know, having heated discussions with certain ones that, and looking for YouTube reference, that you get the occasional heavier set person that can do a particular athletic thing. But anyway, a company like this, whether it's you got fired from, okay, or you were working in, you get the bootlicker attire. The whether you dress up, have to dress up in the office, you know, to look sharp, but then you got the ones that make sure they got the bootlicker attire. They got the short sleeve collared shirt, or the trying to look childlike as possible with the haircuts, and usually they have a big belly, or some of them even have a distinguishing beard. They'll get nasty with you. They sport the big belly. That's a part of the thing, and they'll have the short sleeve collared shirt that sometimes it's like, and they make sure they have that man cologne to make damn sure they got their man cologne as part of the discipline. I mean, a healthy part of hygiene may be having a deodorant that absorbs the odor with a little bit of odor, but not overpowering. But their man cologne, and they'll have the short sleeve collared shirt with the pink and white stripes, and whether they have a beard or it's noble to have a big belly and go around. It's like or you'll have the skinny ones that they wear the pink polo shirts to flatter those skinny arms, or the short sleeve collared shirt, and walk around like it's noble. And there's a part of it that's avoiding muscle development, and the muscle development or any ability beyond, say, yoga or doing something for wink wink sports. You might look violent, you know, or especially if you're doing it in front of a boss or some other co-worker that's maybe gang stalking you, heckling you, some kind of way to deliver a message like a newspaper, like I endorse in some of my videos. But part of that almost looks like it's going to be a whole other video. Okay, I established the dressed up side of the workplace, right, with the bootlicker attire. Then you get the ones that work next to you. Some of them, you know, to your friends, right? And it's just the way they dress, you know, whether it's, you know, jeans, khakis, or whatever. But then, yeah, the t-shirt, shorts, it's not so much the point, like some of your friends dress like this, but you got pegged out the ones that are the bootlickers, that they're wearing their t-shirt, shorts, and their hair, and they have their bootlicker personality, that they're being like, they're trying to look perpetual childlike, and they don't. And unlike any other people that might be some of your friends, if you get into a heated argument, or some of the other co-workers, that there might be subtle, I'll kick your butt attitude, which you don't want to get into. You get these other ones that if you appear or look, they feel threatened when they get nasty with you. They'll do a heckling, or they'll ask you stupid ass questions, just so no matter what energy you put into a question, to answer them in a neutral way, they ask you these questions just so they can make these faces with their mouth, and they make damn sure, right, that they do it real. And some of their women got this. Some of the ones that are women got this face that I try to make that face. Maybe some of you women on there, the mouth kind of twists like this. And one time I know when me and my mother used to get along, and we were in a shopping in a Walmart one time. There was a woman that wasn't very friendly in a Walmart that was making that face. She made that face just like it to mock them, and right back at you. But anyway, that can be a whole other video. Trying to establish that everybody got the face that they make. That it's you're not against no t-shirt and shorts or anything either. There's these different attires, whether the new things kids are listening to or whatever, or you have your pants halfway down your crack. But there was these ones that are the bootlickers that are non-dressed up. Most of it, the secular ones, it's trying to be like childlike as possible, and they got their attitude. And usually the style, there's some kind of other, a type of more cocky attire they have, and they're trying to look as perpetual, nonviolent, as childlike as possible. But then you got the ones that are in the church side too. Their t-shirt and shorts, they got the smart mouths. I ran into some of them. I do volunteer work, but there's people out there you've seen in other places in the past where they're that are dicks, a cross around their neck. But the trend with some of the religious ones, they'll do things around your back and they'll be gang stalking because they're community-oriented policing, make faces at you. But I don't know, both sides, whether it's these or the other ones I'm talking about, it would be like if you were dumb enough to punch them in the mouth or anything, it's like they'll get they'll be in the hospital even if it's a minor injury, not like you put them in a hospital. They want to go to the hospital to be get attention from their friends, not like you're really going to physically hit them or anything. That's above you, but they're hoping that you do, and you're not dumb enough to do that. You just have this attitude about them, and you're just, if you want to be sarcastic, you can be sarcastic back. But anyway, the ones on this religious side, unlike the secular side, they have their t-shirt and shorts too. It's usually the kind, I know the trend for a while was the ones with the pockets in it, and they're flaunting their skinny legs, and they got these skinny arms. They're like avoiding muscle development. I did volunteer work next to some of the more athletic ones that dress like that. But you get the skinny necks, and the shorts with the little pockets, and then the part of the trend was, along with the shorts, it was usually some yellow shirt that flattered, to make sure it flattered their skinny arms, and these little sleeves to flatter their skinny arms. Other people wore it baggy, and you got the other ones that there's this slightly baggy style, but they're either the perpetual child, they're trying to be perpetually childlike to be less violent than you and pull their little games, or maybe they're dressed a certain way. They're like, you have friends that look like this that too, and you got to watch how you say things because you're insulting your friends. But you can usually peg out them ones, but anyway, I had a workplace that looked like that, So this video ended up being the bootlicker attire, when they come at you with these attitudes. And I'm trying to establish how you got friends that look like this. This is basically very random. I didn't want to do another video, maybe with little clips of the last place I got fired from. There's even YouTube videos that I never took down either. That I was allowed to do a certain thing to a certain extent, but at this workplace, these people that I told you about that are the gang stalkers, community-oriented, social hygiene and policing, I'm trying to establish, if you got this far in this video, they make everything dangerous and violent. They approve of, say, you lifted weights or having a punching bag or something, if it's wink wink yoga or wink wink athletics or wink wink cardio weight loss. But if it's for any other reason, then you're doing something that's a danger to yourself or possibly violent to somebody else. But if you notice anything about yoga, follow anything about yoga on YouTube, there's people that are on YouTube that are potential gang stalkers on the religious side that are like, they think yoga is satanic, okay? And, but then I saw this thing on the History Channel, or what do you call it, the Travel Channel, about the guy who founded Pilates, which wasn't religious. The Pilates is named after him. But anyway, the people of the religious side think yoga is satanic, or gang stalk you for it. But I try to say to some of them on YouTube that the secular side is okay with it, even though you don't like it. I don't give a fuck what you call what I'm doing yoga or not, and I don't really care if it's called yoga. I use the name yoga because fucking goddamn ambulance siren, get by so I can do my fucking video. God damn it, hurry up. I hope whoever is over there ain't dead. Just, Jesus. Well, I hope whoever it is ain't dead or anything, but that damn loud ass siren. Okay, where was I? But anyway, I try to say to you guys, the secular side, we say they approve of yoga, so what you call what you're doing, wink wink yoga, or wink wink Pilates. And well, you know, on the religious side, at gang stalk you, they don't like that either if you have that attitude. But, and I always say yoga, I like some of the yoga people, but I'm different. And I don't do that shit. I mean, there's a lot of wonderful people on there. I'm not saying it to alienate any of them. I like some of them, you know what I mean? And they shouldn't sexualize it. But I gotta be different because the fuck should I do things that are run-of-the-mill? Like, they're done to death. There's things that are done to death, though I do things my way and I show that it's possible. Too, you know what I mean? There's community-oriented policing on YouTube in a certain way. But I think a lot of people in that realm like me, and they appreciate that I like their videos. And yes, I do use and learn from some of it, whether it's dudes or chicks. But there may be one or two that are separate from the religious people that think I'm satanic or they're satanic. And maybe one or two I might be stealing some of their thunder and showing that I don't have to have a certification to have club bell yoga and just, well, if you see some of my videos there, that we just do it, and instead of doing any kind of, start out with strength first, stability first, and use it off of medieval ritualistic exercise that I have researched. But there might be little communities you'll get kicked off their blogs by unwittingly breaking a taboo, and I had that happen. And somebody actually listened to me, and I didn't even do anything wrong. It's like, all of a sudden now, this was only for the blog where people were financially, Facebook. Well, they didn't tell me that when they were on their YouTube inviting anybody could join my Facebook. And you know how you're on that thing, and you know, you out of respect, whether you're on YouTube, you have your friends on Twitter, all that fucking shit, all that happy horse shit. You know, you click a bunch of things and show the love, and then once in a while, if you say something, that something gets your attention and answer some. All of a sudden, you're not allowed to answer, to give them advice when, I don't know, that's a taboo that was never written in a sign, or I don't know. But to both sides, the secular and the atheist, the evolutionist crowd, and the people from the other side and some of the other communities, people appreciate that you're using some of their stuff for your own stuff. And at the same time, even though I borrow from it or I'm trying, well, there you got to call your shit something without misleading people. Two, at the same time, you know, you wonder what the fuck your stuff really is, but you were doing it way before you were using their videos, you know. But, you know, that's how it works. But some people don't like it because, I don't know why, you know, there's some kind of community roles. I mean, and maybe little parts of, whether it's the religious side that don't like a particular fitnesser. It can, you know, if you get too much strength and mental and physical strength and walk around with an attitude, you get stalked by some Christian person. Oh yeah, get strong to do one's own will. It's takes a bigger man to bow down and serve. Fuck you. You know, like saying on one of my videos, but and there's a little bit of the other side it's rare and in between that's passive aggressive, but then there's ones out there that are like certified. You get some person that's like me, that's a street bum, that's in a, I don't know, you could say half black, half white, or neighborhood like mine, with abandoned, broken down buildings and chain link fences. I might as well use my environment and show people what people or someone on the streets do and can do. A little bit of dramatics instead of doing the same fucking shit that's done to death. That's a little bit reality based and not confining yourself to a fancy yoga studio. Or, oh, you shouldn't be doing that shit. You should be a sheep and go to our church. So we'll get the community oriented policing. You might be some criminal. Or the workplace, the secular bootlicker. Like at my workplace, I got fired from. Oh, it was yoga, and it's okay. But oh, now they find out I'm training some other ways. They find a way to get me fired. Might be dangerous. You might be dangerous. Whether it's using of a religion, but they're using whatever spectrum they use it, the religious or secular side religion, or a secular, or whether they use a secular moral hygiene platform. There you can get along, try to be neutral on both sides because you've got people from both cultures working right next to you, but then they can gang stalk you too. And it's not always gang stalking don't always mean that the whole world is out to get you, but you have a vindictive, even if you're wearing a fucking suit or dress shirt to work, you get these vindictive assholes that, you start putting your resume out, behind their backs and do your notice like you should and get the fuck out of that job before they ruin your fucking references. That's what it's all really about, you know what I mean?